Thank you to my good friend from Indiana, Congressman Luke Messer, for arranging the special order in preparation for Thursday's vote to repeal the President's health care law. Earlier today, I emailed my constituents a quick survey back home in Montana with one simple question. Do you support efforts to repeal President Obama's care law? We've seen already overwhelming response to our office here tonight from Montanans across our state. Combined with the letters, the emails, the phone calls we received, by 3-1, Montanans want to repeal Obamacare. Last week, I had a teletown hall meeting so I could hear from the people of Montana about the issues that matter most to them. The last question I was asked at the very end of this hour-long teletown hall was from a woman from Florence, Montana. It's a small town on the western side of our state. She shared her heartfelt concerns about the health care law and how it was going to affect her small business. Between the costly new rules and regulations and rising health insurance premiums, she didn't know how she would be able to follow the law and keep her business afloat. And these challenges aren't unique to this one small business owner from Montana. Families and small businesses across America are struggling under President Obama's health care overhaul. Rather than providing real solutions to increase access to affordable care, Obamacare is driving costs up, it's hurting small businesses, it's raising taxes on Americans by more than $1 trillion over the next decade, and ultimately puts the government directly between patients and their doctors. This law also hurts our seniors and their access to health care. The President's health care law took more than $700 billion out of Medicare to pay for new Obamacare spending, and established this IPAB, this unaccountable, unelected board of bureaucrats empowered to further undermine seniors' access to medical. And following this week's troubling news from the IRS, it makes it very clear that the IRS should not be in charge of enforcing Obamacare's core provisions. We need to repeal Obamacare to strip them of this authority. Furthermore, the President's health care overhaul sets in motion serious violations of America's religious freedoms. Under Obamacare, the Department of Health and Human Services has mandated health care coverage of products and services of which some Americans are morally opposed. Under this mandate, religious institutions and employers, as well as health care providers who hold religious and moral convictions, are stripped of their religious freedoms. This is a clear violation of America's First Amendment rights, and it is of critical importance that the religious and moral convictions held by many Americans are protected. That's why I recently joined more than 90 of my colleagues here in the House in calling for the upcoming House appropriation proposals to contain full protections for Americans' religious liberties and conscience rights by including provisions found in the Health Care Conscience Rights Act, which I helped introduce in March. But we must also continue fighting to repeal this failed law in its entirety. We know that our health care system is complex, it has major problems, they need to be addressed. But Obamacare only makes the matters worse. The President's health care law takes us in the wrong direction. At the end of the day, it will result in higher costs, higher premiums, and forces millions of Americans to lose the coverage they currently have. And let's just remember something from 3 years ago. Remember in March of 2010 when Obamacare passed the House? There was nothing bipartisan about Obamacare. There was bipartisan opposition. In fact, 34 Democrats joined 178 Republicans in opposing Obamacare, but not one single Republican voted for it. There's nothing bipartisan about it other than bipartisan opposition. I will vote to repeal this law on Thursday. I will continue to work with my colleagues in support of better, more effective solutions that give Americans the quality, affordable care they deserve.